Good afternoon, Hobo Nation, and welcome to the HWA House Show Season 1, Episode 16 of the Hobo Wrestling Alliance WWE 2K18, exclusively on Xbox One. As always, thanks for tuning in. We are always recruiting, so if you or a hobo you know loves wrestling as much as the HWA wrestlers do, then contribute your CA dubs to the cause and join the Hobo Wrestling Alliance, and you can debut here on one of our house shows. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have several debuts and a great 4-match card coming to you today. Hobo Nation, enough of the hype. Let's keep the action moving. Our first match of the night features Jacob Horrors, the tattooed crazy man who has been very impressive recently in the HWA. He's debuted a few weeks ago, and his first match was against Dolph Ziggler. And I gotta tell you, I put my beatniks on Dolph Ziggler, and I lost 25,000 beatniks on Dolph Ziggler because Jacob Horrors whooped that honky's ass, and now is firmly implanted in the roster of the HWA. And it was impressive because considering what happened to Dolph Ziggler since that loss, Dolph Ziggler went on a 5-match winning streak that was snapped, unfortunately, on Saturday night main event by the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. But tonight, Jacob Horrors going up against the debuting Brett Storm. We're excited to have Brett Storm here, win or lose in the HWA Hobo Wrestling Alliance. Good luck in your match, because that guy is a fucking lunatic. Our second match. And you know, let's break it down, Hobo Nation. This Saturday night, on Saturday Night Main Event, you're going to see the HWA Tag Team titles defended. The champions, American Alpha, will be defending against the new #1 contenders, the Usos. That's right, Jimmy and Jay Uso are the new #1 contenders because the Shield lost their #1 contender spot after a humongous loss last night to Big Cass and Enzo Amore. Congratulations to them. They jumped up to the #6 spot, and the Shield dropped from #1 to #2, and the Usos now have the potential to take out American Alpha this Saturday night for the HWA Tag Team titles. Hobo Nation, it's pandemonium. You gotta be there. But here there is quite the story. We have the Bar, and the Bar, the #3 ranked tag team in the HWA right now, going up against Heath, Slater, and that maniac monster man, the Rhyno. And you know, we got some sad news about rhinos in general today. Apparently, the last male white rhino in Africa was euthanized because he just couldn't walk anymore, and he was just laying there suffering, so they had to euthanize him, and that's horrible. Humans hunted white rhinos to extinction. Isn't that awful? Shame on us. But hopefully tonight, Rhyno and Heath Slater won't come up short and become extinct from the running of the Tag Team Championship. They're still in the top 10. Once you slip out of the 10, it's obsolete absolution for you. Next match, we have another debut, and it's Nightmare X on the left, and on the right, the former HWA Hardcore Champion, J-Flies, the original Hardcore Champion, if you will. That heartbreaker of a loss in that triple threat match to Kenny Omega, who subsequently yesterday lost the HWA Hardcore title to CM Punk. Will J-Fly seek to reclaim it? We don't know, and we don't know if he'll even be able to get past this masked scorpion tattooed psychopath in Nightmare X. I'm looking forward to see what this high-flying cruiserweight has to show us, because the Hardcore Champion earned his Hardcore title, and we'll see. We'll see if the former champ can put a pause on the debuting the scorpion mask-faced bleach character like Nightmare X. And I saved the sexiest for last, just for you, Hobo Nation. Trish Stratus against Mickie James with Alexa Bliss in her corner. Will it be Stratus faction, or will that stalking, psychopathic, weird chick win and in fact dethrone Trish Stratus from one of the top spots to challenge Bayley for the HWA World Women's Championship? We'll find out. Enough of the hype. Let's start this shit. Sorry, Hobo Nation. I've been real hyped up today about the show. I'm trying to get everybody on the same page. Everything's coming together beautifully. I hope all of you are enjoying the HWA House Shows. This is the House Show Season 1, Episode 16, brought to you by Sunburn City. We love it. We love it. We love wrestling, and we would love for you to join us. Join the HWA. All you got to do is reach out and say, Hobo Nation, I want to drop you a CA dub. And that will be all she wrote. Your gamer tag's all I need, or you can hashtag it in the game, Hobo Nation. We can find it that way, but that's much more complicated. I'd rather just search for you as a GT Xbox One exclusive. And here we are. The match will be underway. I'm looking forward to this first match up here. Jacob Horrors against the debuting Brett Storm. What can you say? Jacob Horrors, impressive wins over Dolph Ziggler and John Cena recently. And Jacob Horrors strikes me as the type of extreme wrestler that we are looking for as we continue to recruit for our hardcore division, which, let me tell you, has been on fire. And here we are, Hobo Nation. We're going to keep the action moving. Jacob Horrors, Brett Storm. After that, we'll have some tag team action. And I hope Brett Storm brings the thunder with him, because Jacob Horrors will bring the House of Horrors to you. You will not be able to blow that house down, my friend. Like I said, Jacob's debut was a few weeks ago on one of our house shows, and he defeated Dolph Ziggler. The Zigs going down in flames to the House of Horrors. And Brett Storm, this will be Brett Storm's official first professional wrestling match. And he chose to bring his skills to the HWA. We signed him sight unseen because he just seemed to be the kind of guy that could kick some serious ass. But, as luck would have it, you drew the horror show on your debut. Brett Storm, bring the thunder. Alright, enough the hype. Let's keep the action moving. And the bell rings, and let's see what kind of action we're going to get here. And both men, and a hard Irish whip by Jacob Horrors, and Storm down on the mat already. Welcome to the HWA. Jacob Horrors, I'm sorry, Brett Storm and Horrors now stomping away. Horrors did mention in an interview backstage that he was curious about challenging for the hardcore title eventually, and that was a slick tornado DDT there by Brett Storm, coming up with a big move on Jacob Horrors. Horrors now seems a little stunned. Slamming the wrist down is Storm. Storm going for a choke, showing a vicious streak here, and he's going to need all the viciousness he can get. Going against the horror show himself in a front facelock there. And as we were mentioning about Jacob Horrors, curious and wanting, it seems, to challenge for the hardcore title. I don't think he's eligible to challenge yet. You have to have a certain amount of matches in the HWA before you can challenge for a title. The hardcore title will be defended on tomorrow's show, and the story now is this shoulder separating side Russian leg sweep, planting Storms to the apron was Jacob Horrors, and Horrors now going to be the more aggressive of the two with that slingshot off the top rope, dragging Storm up to his feet, and Storm now dragging Horrors down, that armbar takedown, kicking him in the back, kicking him in the shoulder. Horrors is favoring that left shoulder now after that maneuver by Storm. And what's Storm going to do here? A scoop and a draping horrors over the top rope. A little payback for the disrespect earlier. Going for a cover here, but that definitely will not be enough to take out an HWA superstar like Jacob Horrors. Now a temple crunch there by Storm. Interesting maneuver there. A senton bomb off the second turnbuckle. Brett Storm showing some athleticism here, taking it to Jacob Horrors and picking him up and planting him with that sit-down pile driver. He drove his head through the mat. Hobo Nation, will he get him here? No. Horrors still kicking out. Storms a little surprised, and I'm not going to lie here, I'm a little surprised too, but Storm seems to be patiently waiting, setting up for something, and a spear out of nowhere. He speared the holy hell out of Jacob Horrors, and it's 3. Brett Storm takes the win from Jacob Horrors in a successful debut here in the HWA. Holy shiitake mushrooms, what a spear that was, and congratulations to you, Brett Storm. And what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? Look at that. And Horrors now, a great show of respect here, losing clean. Jacob Horrors, congratulations, Brett Storm, taking it down, I'm shocked. I am shocked. What a great matchup that was. Congratulations to you, Brett Storm, taking out Jacob Horrors. And Jacob Horrors, definitely not the last we've heard of the horror show, especially not the way he was talking the other day. Maybe now Brett Storm will be the one to challenge for the hardcore title. We'll see, Hobo Nation. We'll see. Impressive debut by Brett Storm. Congratulations to that man. We look forward to great things from you here in the HWA. Right now, we got big time tag team action. And this is a big match because the number 3 contender to the tag titles, The Bar, facing the number 8 challengers, Heath, Slater, and Rhyno. These teams are not exactly familiar with each other. I don't think they faced each other ever. They were both in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. However, they were both eliminated in the first round by their respective opponents. And the tag team division is heated up since then, but no one has been able to dethrone the HWA Tag Team Champions, American Alpha. My favorite tag team. I don't know why they were broken up in the WWE, and it pisses me off. But enough of the hype. Let's keep the action moving. The Bar, Rhyno, Slater, up next. Here we go. The bell rings and action's right underway. Slater starting it off, and Cesaro starting it off for the Bar. And Cesaro flapjacked by Slater. Slater and Rhyno like to get things off to an early start, keep the pace moving. The Bar likes to slow things down, use their power maneuvers to wear their opponents down. But right now, Cesaro's head is a scrambled melon because Heath Slater was just pounding that shit into the mat. And Cesaro slipping around in a drop kick, a standing drop kick on Heath Slater. And Cesaro now working on the arm and back of Slater. Cesaro, one of the strongest men here in the HWA, and he and his partner Sheamus have really made a name for themselves, climbing the ranks quicker than any other tag team, up to the 3rd spot. It's the highest they've been, and a drop down neck breaker there by Heath Slater on the unsuspecting Cesaro. Cesaro seemed like he was showboating there, and Sheamus knocking Heath Slater off the top rope. The ref didn't see it. What the hell was the ref doing? Picking his anus? Pay more attention. And a big right hand and an overhead belly bomb by Heath Slater. I have no idea what that was called, so it's going to be an overhead belly bomb. Slater now dragging Cesaro to the corner. He was able to recover surprisingly after Sheamus threw him off the top rope, draping Cesaro over the top rope there in a snake eyes-like maneuver. Heath Slater still in there. There's are the two men who started, the two men in the battle, and now Cesaro with his power countering Heath Slater and a hard Irish whip into the corner, and Cesaro now stalking up to Heath Slater, tagging in the Shaminator, sorry, I'm going to call him the Shaminator. Oh, a drop kick, a propeller-like maneuver, and then a standing drop kick by the Shaminator, and Sheamus scooping Slater up and draping him over the top rope. A little payback for doing that to the Seaman back on the other side, and a hard kick to the face. Slater with a go behind and a reverse neck breaker there by Heath Slater, coming up big time against the Shaminator. Stomping away is Heath Slater, backing up, hopefully tagging in the wicked fresh Rhyno. Here he comes, the hardcore, one of the hardcore legends in Rhyno now. One of the few men who I believe can possibly match power with either Cesaro and Sheamus now. A hard Irish whip and a go behind, a hard shot to the back of Rhyno. Oh, and a full Nelson slam on Rhyno by the Shaminator, dragging the big Rhyno to the center of the ring. Stalking back, dropping the tag to Cesaro, the Swiss cyborg, stepping into the ring. Ever since the Bar debuted here in the HWA, they've been nothing short of impressive. Nothing short of impressive. Putting on some quality 4.5-star matches, 4-star matches, taking wins from teams like R-rated RKO and the great Legion of Doom, who just snapped a losing streak in a 6-man tag match yesterday against the Miztourage with RVD. Congratulations to those guys. And Heath Slater and Rhyno now, they're going to pick up the pace like we were talking about earlier with a quick exchange, and a tag out goes Rhyno, and in comes Slater to the middle turnbuckle. Cesaro with the wherewithal to roll out of the way, and a stiff right to the kidneys of Heath Slater with a hard Irish whip following that stiff arm shot to the lower back is Cesaro, and they're holding Slater there with a little double team kick by the big Shaminator, and Sheamus just stomping Slater to the ground. Holy shiitake mushrooms, Hobo Nation. And yes, you are a badass, Sheamus. Yes, you are a badass. The Bar now really taking it to Slater and Rhyno, and as those words fall out of my mouth and hit the microphone, Slater comes back with some coolness and is able to tag out to the Rhyno. And Rhyno now coming back in to pick the bones clean of Sheamus, who's lying on the ground. It seems like he's actually quite injured. I don't know what moves Slater did to hurt the big man so, but Rhyno scooping up, and a stunning like maneuver from a fireman's carry position, and Rhyno hitting a big move here, needs to capitalize and probably pick up the pace. You honky, and a clubbing right, sending Sheamus down, and he's just scooped Sheamus up like a doll, but Sheamus able to block and counter with a forearm of his own. And now he scoops up the big Rhyno. What's he going to do? And a follow-away slam. A follow-away slam there by Sheamus on the big Rhyno, tagging out to Cesaro, and the Swiss cyborg coming up to Rhyno, dragging the near 300-pound Rhyno to the middle of the ring. And Cesaro jumping neck stretch there. Cesaro also one of the most powerful men I've ever met. Not just power for power, but power and athletic, as displayed there with that jumping leg, standing leg drop. But Rhyno able to take the legs out from Cesaro and counter into a reverse chinlock, buying himself some recovery time, hopefully. Nice showing so far from Slater and Rhyno against the number 3 contenders of the tag champs, the Bar, and an arm drag takedown by Rhyno, pushing Cesaro around with his mass. And a standing vertical suplex reversed with a knee to the top of the head by Cesaro, and a thundering European uppercut. He didn't get over all of it, and a belly-to-belly overhead by Rhyno, showing his power. And what are we going to see here? Rhyno stomping away. Cesaro is hurt. Cesaro is hurt, and Rhyno is taking full advantage of it. Cesaro now blocking up. Spear! A big gore spear by Rhyno on Cesaro, getting dragged to the center of the ring. And Rhino's going for it. And Sheamus running to the rescue. Running to the rescue after that big spear. And Slater with that giant head first DDT-like maneuver. But Rhyno up in no man's land, coming down hard on the canvas. And Cesaro able to recover quick. Big stomp to the legs of Rhyno. Rhyno finally able to roll out of the way, countering with a stiff right leg of his own. And what's he going for here? Rhyno picking Cesaro up with a release powerbomb. What a tremendous powerbomb. Shaking the ring poles. And Rhyno now taking it to Cesaro. Another stomp to the abdominal muscles. Then Sheamus on the outside with Heath Slater. They're taking it to each other outside on the apron. So it's basically a one-on-one match, and now a powerbomb flapjack by Rhyno on Cesaro, who is in full control here. Going to go for a quick cover. 2, and the Swiss Cyborg kicking out at 2. That's not going to be enough. And Sheamus back up on his apron in his tag team partner's corner where he needs him. And where's Slater? Slater getting back up on the apron as well. A little slower to recover was Heath Slater, and Rhyno taking hard shots to the face. Those hard left hands by the Swiss Cyborg, tagging out to the Shaminator. Sheamus, Cesaro, the bar, going for a big boot there. Oh, what a stiff boot to the face. Good tag team work by the bar. And Slater now needs to pick it up. Oh, they knocked the ref down. Slater accidentally hitting the ref with a double axe handle, and Cesaro disposing of the menace known as Heath Slater. And Sheamus gonna hold Rhyno in, going for a big choke slam. A choke slam powerbomb. A choke slam powerbomb. Holy shiitake mushrooms. That's gotta be all she wrote. That's gotta be all she wrote for Rhyno. But Rhyno is still up on his feet. And Rhyno thrown into the ref by Sheamus. And that referee, we need to get that honky erased. Rhyno in no man's land with a giant clothesline off the top rope. The 300-pound Rhyno sailing through the fucking sky like a unicorn sailing through a cloud. It was epic movement there by Rhyno. And now Heath Slater going to the middle turnbuckle, hopefully not gonna fuck this up. And Sheamus staggering to the top, and he sidesteps Heath Slater. And now the Shaminator showing his power, but Slater showing some wisdom with a counter and a lightning quick standing drop kick. Nice move there by Heath Slater, countering the power of Sheamus with speed. Nice move there. Finally, you're getting your shit together, Heath Slater. We love to see that here in the HWA and the Hobo Wrestling Alliance. This is Season 1, Episode 16. We hope you're enjoying the house show so far. These two teams putting on one hell of a match for us today. Hobo Nation and Slater now dragging the seemingly lifeless carcass of Sheamus. And Cesaro punching Slater from the middle rope there. And the ref still kind of woozy from taking those two giant shots. And he didn't see anything. And big forearm shot from the Shaminator, and Sheamus scooping up. Oh, that's one. It's going to be 3, baby. Here's 2. And one more. One more for Heath Slater. 3 big standing backbreakers on Heath Slater by the Shaminator. Sheamus rocking Slater's universe and a hard Irish whip. A hard Irish whip and a quick tag out to the Swiss Cyborg now. And more double team action. And Cesaro coming up with that humongous boot to the face of Slater, and Slater's out. Rhyno better get his honky ass in there, and he does, and he saves Slater. But Sheamus tossing Rhyno over the top rope like a midget being tossed into a pool. And what's the bar doing here? Cesaro has the smaller man, Heath Slater, helpless and slightly unconscious on the ring, and Cesaro now checking on Rhyno, making sure that the big Rhyno is out there, and a stomp from the Cyborg, and Slater sensing danger, and a go behind, nice arm drag takedown, a good reversal there by Heath Slater, stiff left jab to the jaw, did nothing to the Swiss Cyborg. Cesaro now scooping Slater up and gonna drape him across that top rope for a snake eyes-like maneuver. And another hard Irish whip into the corner of the bar goes Heath Slater. Slater fighting his way out with a big boot and a knee drop on the leg of Cesaro. That's gonna neutralize some of the power of Cesaro. And a zigzag-like backdrop. A zigzag-like backdrop. That's halting the momentum the bar built up so far. And there's that Slater, whatever the hell he calls that move. I know that's his finisher, but I have no idea what it's called. Because let's face it, who pays attention to Heath Slater anyway? And a fireman's carry on Slater. Cesaro hitting that front face lock. And a hard Irish whip again into the bar's corner. And Cesaro wisely taking the opportunity to tag the Shaminator out. Another double team here. They did this earlier in the match, and he comes up with that giant drop kick. That giant drop kick to the side of the head of Heath Slater. Holy shiitake mushrooms, he nearly kicked his head off. And Sheamus, just nothing prettier technical, breaking it, busting Heath Slater open. And the bar putting on a hell of a performance. And Sheamus missing that middle turnbuckle elbow drop, but not letting it phase him, scooping Slater up immediately. And an overhead slam. Flying across the ring goes Heath Slater, who's busted open and woozing an arm drag, halting all of that momentum built up by Sheamus. Slater now showing tremendous fight. And he's going for a pickup DDT. He went for that pickup DDT. Will it be enough? It would surprise Sheamus. I don't think Sheamus was expecting that. And he able to kick out at 2 3/4. I thought for a hairy nipple of a moment that Slater had the Shaminator there. But now Slater getting a head of steam in a double axe handle. Missed by Slater. And Slater recovering quickly with a stomp to the back of Sheamus. Great wherewithal here by Slater, taking it to the bar are Heath Slater and the Rhyno. And sidestepped again. He should not go up there, and Slater showing his power, but man, is Sheamus determined not to let anything happen, and he just kept elbowing in the face, and he just stood up and flipped Heath Slater over like a small child flips over a teddy bear. And pounding away is Sheamus on Heath Slater. Slater is taking a hell of a beating. He is showing a lot of toughness here in this match and able to sidestep, and a face-busting DDT. A face-busting DDT on Sheamus. And, you know, Slater needs to take this opportunity to tag out, and rights and lefts on Sheamus. Slater mounting some offense, all adrenaline-based offense, and a sunset flip from the middle turnbuckle. And the ref, 1, 2, and oh, Cesaro breaking the count up. A nice setup moves there by Slater, and oh, look at Sheamus. Sheamus is down. Sheamus is down. And Cesaro now and Rhyno having a little set of words, and the ref admonishing Cesaro, and Slater on the middle turnbuckle, measuring his opponent, and he misses with that middle rope elbow smash. But able to scoop up and back body drop. A nice backbreaker there by Heath Slater. Good recovery here by Slater, but he needs to tag the fresh Rhyno in, and a hard Irish whip. Finally, the momentum shifting here, and the referee not going to see this tag. The ref did not see the tag. I don't know if he's going to let it go. He's letting the double team go. Oh, look at that. And Sheamus able to escape the grasp of Rhyno. And Cesaro comes in with a corkscrew European uppercut. Great corkscrew forearms there on Rhyno, stopping the momentum that Slater and Rhyno have built to now. Oh, and he pop-up! That pop-up forearm! There's that pop-up forearm on Rhyno by Cesaro. And Cesaro now trying to show his power, but Rhyno able to counter into a belly-to-back suplex. Tremendous strength by the veteran Rhyno there, and the bar in a bad way, and Rhyno is showboating, you honky ass mofo. Go do some damage to the bar. This is your chance to go from number 8 to possibly number 5 and really propel your team to a contendership to the tag team title, so stop fucking it up. A stomp to the midsection by Rhyno. Rhyno now building ahead of steam, and Cesaro there to stop it with that shoulder tackle. And what's Cesaro doing here? Can he do it? Is he going to do a pop-up again? He's going to try another pop-up. Nope, dropping him. He's going for a submission move here. He's going for a sharpshooter on Rhyno. Will he get Rhyno to tap here? I don't know. Rhino's got big, powerful legs. He might be able to power his way out of it, but Rhyno taps to the sharpshooter. Rhyno taps to the sharpshooter, and the bar take this victory from exhausted Heath, Slater, and Rhyno. What a showing by that team, but the bar showing their prowess here with a sharpshooter, and Cesaro able to pick it up and drop enough damage on Rhyno in such a short span of time that he was able to get Rhyno to tap to that sharpshooter. Another big boot there on Heath Slater, and Slater took so much damage here. That guy's really toughening up here in the HWA, and congratulations to the team of Cesaro and Sheamus, the bar, picking up a big victory here. You know, Cesaro and Sheamus are former rivals, and they've been working so well as a team here. Never. Haha. Come on. Did you really think you can never trust a ginger? Just kidding, all my ginger lovers. I love me some gins. I love me some gins. They're big, crazy muscles, man. Look at that team. The number 3 contenders to the tag team titles. The bar, victorious in what was a fantastic tag team match here in the HWA House Show Season 1, Episode 16 so far. A little showboating there. A well-earned showboat there from the victorious bar. Congratulations, you guys. A hard-fought victory. Alright, Hobo Nation, next up, another debut here. And will it be as successful as the first debut we saw in our house show? Brett Storm earlier tonight successfully debuting against Jacob Horrors. That was a shock to me. I'm going to say it here live and in living color. That was a shock to me, Hobo Nation. I was not prepared for that, but this is a match completely separate from that former match. This is the former HWA Hardcore Champion J-Flies taking on the debuting Nightmare X. Will the Nightmare have such success against a man who redefined hardcore in the HWA, the first Hardcore Champion, J-Flies? Enough with the hype! Let's keep the action moving, Hobo Nation. Nightmare X versus J-Flies. Oh, and a nice show of respect there. Apparently these two honkies know each other. And the bell rings, and now this is not an Extreme Rules match. It's a regular rules match. We're going to see how J-Flies performs when he has to follow the rules. And a nice slingshot arm drag takedown by Nightmare X. Already showing some speed and quickness here. But J-Flies, they don't call him the Falcon for nothing. A front face lock there. Nightmare X coming to us from the indie scene. Walked into my office, said, "I want a match." And I said, "Who the hell are you?" Oh, and a nice sidekick there. And he said, "I'm Nightmare X." And then he went on and on and on. And I just got him to shut up. I will give you a match with J-Flies, because I think that the Falcon can kick his ass. But so far, the Falcon being grounded by the Nightmare, and dragging him up, and a stiff chop and hard right hands to the Oh, and a big clothesline. What a clothesline there by the Falcon J-Flies. And Nightmare X sitting down and coming up big with a nice stiff right hand to the midsection of the Falcon. And the Falcon now turning it, picking up the pace. Nightmare X spun around, slung into the corner, and he leaps over the top rope. And a leaping enziguri kick from the apron. And a springboard drop kick from the outside on J-Flies. And now Nightmare X having an impressive showing. Oh, a Nightmare power bombed through the mat. J-Flies stopping that up. And a bicycle kick. A leaping bicycle kick to the back of the head of Nightmare X. J-Flies overpowering Nightmare, but the X dropping a backwards DDT there. A great reversal there by Nightmare X. J-Flies a sit-down face buster. Oh, sorry, a jawbreaker there. And Nightmare jumping over the top rope again onto the apron and Flies now. And X just kind of staring lovingly into each other's eyes. Taking a breather. Oh, okay, he's going to join him on the apron. And X and Flies now. Oh, DDT onto the apron by J-Flies. Holy shiitake mushrooms, Hobo Nation. Nightmare X is out. Nightmare X is out after that DDT on the apron. What a vicious move by the Falcon. Now dropping big time elbows to the back of the head of the somewhat injured Nightmare X. Again, another shot to the back. And J-Flies a vicious assault on the outside. You can tell J-Flies loves being the hardcore champion. He thrives in the outside. Extreme Rules. This is not an Extreme Rules match. He will get counted out if he does not get his honky ass back in there. And Nightmare X is in a bad way here on his debut. And a reverse DDT. Reversal into a reverse DDT. Nightmare X now taking the fight to the Falcon. Throwing the man back into the ring, breaking up the 10 count. X sliding into the ring. He needs to pick up the pace here against J-Flies. No showboating. He's showboating. You know how I feel about showboating, Hobo Nation. A big back body drop. A nice quick back body drop there by Nightmare X. Quick to the outside. Hop into the top rope as fast as he can get up there. And what's he setting him up for? Oh, wow. It's a 630 splash. A 630 splash. 1, 2, and Flies able to kick out at 2. Nightmare X, a great athletic maneuver there. A 630 splash coming up short. Oh, a standing shooting star press on J-Flies. I have to say, of all of J-Flies' opponents, I believe Nightmare X is the only one that's been able to match him in aerial offense. And the Falcon, in a bad way, Falcon reversing a reverse DDT of his own on Nightmare X, and that's going to pause the momentum of X here. And the Falcon, another bicycle kick to the back. He got the full shot, and Nightmare's down 2, and X able to kick out at 2. That was a full bicycle kick. Wow, what a shot by J-Flies. And now he's trying to take some of the momentum enabling weapons, namely the legs, away from Nightmare X, blocking that kick, and now turning it around into a belly to back suplex. Nice reversal there by Nightmare X. A little call out to J-Flies, and the X stomping away, thundering left hook and scooping up J-Flies, who reverses it with a big right club to the middle of the back on the Nightmare. And wow! Did you see that? That looked like a Blue Thunder Bomb. He hit him with a Blue Thunder Bomb-like maneuver, and that's stopping him. And now J-Flies just unloading a barrage of right hands on Nightmare X. And X getting set up and sat down with that powerbomb pin. 2, and he won't get him here. He turned it into a Boston Crab, though, not relinquishing the move. He's turned it into a Boston Crab. Will X tap out here? Nightmare X putting on a great show so far, and he did not tap out. He was able to get to the ropes, and the ref breaking up the move here. And the Falcon now taking the fight to Nightmare X. Nightmare's debut match not going as planned, I could tell. A fireman's carry here, tangled up on the ropes, and he dropped into an abdominal crusher. And he missed it. He was going for one of those baseball slide drop kicks, but X had the wherewithal to move out of the way. Nightmare X now taking a second to recover, and Jay flies, feeling the wrath of Nightmare X. What a flip, planting the Falcon to the mat. And Nightmare X now seems to be taking too much time for my taste, but hey, I'm not the one who's gonna lose, because I'm just the announcer. Nightmare X now stalking Jay Flies, a snap suplex, and Fly's able to counter. Fly's able to counter into that reverse neck breaker, and a reverse neck breaker DDT on the Nightmare. Jay Flies going for it one more time, that heel kick, that jumping bicycle kick, and Flies now, what's he gonna do here? Oh, this is it. If he hits this, it's all she wrote. A brain buster. He hit him with the brain buster. That's all. That's got to be it. 1, 2. Oh, and Nightmare X able to kick out. Nightmare X showing tremendous heart, showing tremendous determination, kicking out of that brain buster. And here comes Jay Flies, the Falcon, gonna take flight. A swanton bomb. A swanton bomb on Nightmare X. Jay Flies, the Falcon, taking flight, landing that swanton, and he's covering him. 1. Is it enough? And it's over! Jay Flies pinning the debuting Nightmare X in thrilling fashion with that lovely swanton off the top rope. And here's some great offense by Nightmare X, that 630 splash off the top rope. But these bicycle kicks are just brutal. If you ever face the Falcon one-on-one, beware of those bicycle kicks. They will rock your world. And here was that power bomb coming up real big with this power bomb, and then Jay Fly, sensing that Nightmare was kicking out, turns it over into a Boston Crab. But here's, I think, the final kick, and that one, he got all of it. And you saw Nightmare X's neck just snap up and down, and then after that it was just a sweet swanton, and Nightmare X still out in the middle of the ring. Congratulations to the Falcon. Great big win after losing his HWA Hardcore title, and welcome back Jay Flies. Nightmare X losing his debut match, but that doesn't mean anything, Hobos. Nightmare X team, he's going to be a great competitor. We look forward to seeing him in future matches. Congratulations to Jay Flies. Great match, you two. And up next, Hobo Nation, is our main event. 2 of the top contenders to the HWA Women's World title, Trish Stratus taking on Mickie James with Alexa Bliss at ringside. I don't know how I feel about this. Hobo Nation. I don't know how I feel about it for this particular reason. Alexa, stop listening. Stop listening. Stop. Shut up. Be quiet. Sorry, my Alexa is listening, and she's just going to keep talking, Hobo, so I have to go and plug her. Oh, you're going to stop now, or I'm going to unplug you. I'll unplug you, hooker. Don't make me go over there and unplug you. And anyway, I apologize for that diatribe. But now we have, like we were saying, 2 of the top contenders to the HWA Women's World Championships. Trish Stratus going up against Mickie James with Alexa Bliss in her corner. But enough of the hype. Let's keep the action moving. Thanks for tuning in today in the HWA Season 1, Episode 16. This match is quickly underway, and Stratus already taking the fight to Mickie James. These 2 women, no strangers to each other. She came right out of the gate with a bulldog and propping Mickie James up with that drop kick into the back of the head. Trish Stratus, not short of aggression. She knows what's at stake in this match. And if you don't know what's at stake in this match, Hobo Nation, the winner of this match will be facing the #1 contender to the World Women's Championship, and then that person will get a shot at the HWA Women's World Champion Bayley. But right now, Mickie James planting Trish Stratus on the mat face first, thanks to that distraction by Bliss. And Bliss, a horrible person. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it in a country accent because I think that makes everything a little less better. That hooker is a hooker. That's what I'm saying. Here's Mickie James now. And a little pomp and circumstance there will cost her the match. Trish Stratus is... Oh, wow. And Mickie James got that drop kick. Maybe just a piece of it, but it did catch Stratus on the back of the head. And what I was about to say was Stratus has been fighting, clawing her way up the HWA women's division, and she's currently ranked number 3. And a win here will propel her to one of the top 2 spots. Mickie James currently number 5, and a flying forearm there from Trish Stratus, stopping Mickie James dead in her tracks. And she's going for that baseball slide drop kick to the temple of James, and Stratus now climbing the middle turnbuckle, taking advantage here. She's trying to take advantage, waiting for James to get to a vertical base. And now a kick to the face. Stratus stunning James, and she comes up with a drop kick of her own, and she got all of that drop kick. She got all of it to the face of James, and James is shook, but still has the wherewithal to slide out of that in a reverse DDT on Trish Stratus. Mickie James coming up in a big way with that reversal now, working on the left arm of Stratus, and that reverse arm bar is James, and James now planting the shoulder to the canvas. Mickie James making waves here in the HWA World Women's Division. Twisting elbow smash to the chest of Stratus, and ever since her debut here, she's taken on the best and climbed the ladder just like Trish. But James has recorded recent losses. That's why she's not in the top 3. Stratus, so far, is undefeated in the women's division. And a nice duck down, and she came up big with a clothesline, nearly decapitating Mickie James there is Trish Stratus. And Stratus now feeling it. She's feeling it, Hobo Nation. A hard Irish whip propping James up to the top turnbuckle. And there she is. She's going for that head scissor takedown from the bottom turnbuckle. Is Trish Stratus going for a pin here? She might have James too, and James able to kick out here. Mickie James able to kick out of that head scissor takedown from Trish Stratus. And Stratus now, she looks crazy. She's setting her up for something, and she's going for that side kick. That standing sidekick to the temple, and she needs to cover her faster, and that ref is counting 1. James might be out cold here, and James able to get the right shoulder up at 2 1/4. I thought Mickie James was out for the count there, Hobo Nation, but no such luck. Stratus now pumping the crowd up, pumping herself up. James is in trouble. She needs to mount a bit more offense, a fireman's carry. What's she going to do here? Trish Stratus walking over to the ropes and spearing the head of Mickie James into that middle turnbuckle. What a vicious maneuver by Stratus. Stratus not short of creative ways to hurt you, and she just twists her into a Boston Crab. But James is trying to power out here and able to power out of the Boston Crab. Going for a quick pin on Trish Stratus. That's not going to be enough to get Trish. But Mickie James is not going to give up the chance to pin the number 3 contender here. And now Stratus going for that tilt-a-whirl head scissor takedown. Nice move by Trish Stratus, rocking the marbles of Mickie James. And James now tossing Stratus onto the apron. Stratus coming up with a shoulder tackle and a sunset flip on Mickie James. And Stratus might have her here too. And no, Mickie James able to power her way out of that. And a reverse elbow smash. Oh, and there she goes again. Stratus ducking that heel kick and coming up with a big move. Oh, and Trish has got a chair. This is not a no. Oh, and she pounded. She pounded Mickie James with the ref taking the chair away from her. And the ref did not see her hit Mickie James with the chair. Instead, he turned around just in time, and Stratus now really taking it to Mickie James. Bliss's chair was tossed in there for Mickie James, and that just completely backfired now, and James is in a bad way. She's in danger of losing this match, and a powerbomb out of the corner. Trish Stratus with a power bomb out of the corner on James, and Stratus now being distracted by Bliss. Bliss playing her part perfectly, buying Mickie James a few moments to recover after that vicious chair shot from Trish Stratus. And then that sit-down power bomb out of the corner, and Stratus now a front facelock again, and now dropping Mickie James. And she's going for a sharpshooter. I think she's too close to the ropes. She is. She has to break the hold. James is too close to the ropes. Ref forcing her to break the hold, and Stratus now, she might be feeling the Stratusfaction. Oh, clubbing right by Stratus. Oh, and Mickie James, reverse go behind by James there, coming up big. And there she is with that reverse bulldog. There she is. She hit that bulldog, face planting Trish Stratus. Is Mickie James. James going for the cover here. Will she get Stratus after that bulldog, and Stratus kicking out at 2? James planting Stratus hard. Finally able to mount some offense and buying herself a little bit of time here with that neck wrench. Mickie James and Trish Stratus have had a great back and forth battle here. Stratus, to me, seems to have had the advantage most of the match. And an arm drag takedown, but not enough to really halt the momentum of Stratus. But that jawbreaker might rock Trish Stratus's world. And James here is going for it. There's that big tornado DDT on Trish Stratus. That might be it. That might be it. Mickie James hitting that big tornado DDT on Trish Stratus. She might have her here. 1. Will Stratus get pinned here? And oh no, it was 2 1/4. It was 2 1/4. Hobo Nation. Trish Stratus showing the heart of a champion, kicking out of that tornado DDT. And Stratus now, frustrated, letting out a war cry, and a headbutt by Stratus on James, a surprise headbutt, and she's going for that snap suplex, a hard snap suplex, and Stratus still being distracted by Bliss. And this is going to cost Stratus the match here. I'm telling you, this is not good for Stratus to be constantly distracted by Bliss. And James and her back up to a vertical base, and a sweeping side Russian leg sweep. A nicely executed side Russian leg sweep by Trish Stratus. And there she is. Stratus now showboating a bit. Oh, clubbing right to the chest. And James now, her own snap suplex coming up big. And she went right for a cover. But that's not enough to take out Trish Stratus. Gets up at the 0. Stratus would love nothing more than to defeat Mickie James and go on to challenge Lita for the #1 spot, for one of the top spots, I should say, to be able to challenge for the Women's World Championship. But that will not happen if Mickie James, the Roadblock, has her way. A nice neck stretcher there on Trish Stratus, and James now really taking it to Stratus. Stratus mounted a lot of offense earlier. I think she may have wore herself out, and James, that pectoral stretch there, small submission move there. I have never seen someone tap out to that, but it isn't impossible. It's quite painful. And that showboat cost Trish a maneuver probably, in a hard Irish whip. Oh, she looked like she Charlie horsed the hell out of her. And Stratus with an enziguri. Stratus with an enziguri kick on Mickie James. And this hooker will not stop showboating. Hobo Nation, if you ever join the HWA, do not showboat. It will cost you the match. I can't say that because it didn't cost her anything. She's firmly in control here now, is Trish Stratus of Mickie James. Remember, Hobo Nation, Saturday night main event, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. A slingshot bulldog. That might be all she wrote. That slingshot bulldog usually spells the end of the line. And Bliss up on the apron here. Bliss up on the apron, distracting Stratus again. And Stratus should have just gone for the cover there, and the ref being really lenient. Probably distracted by the puppies. And James able to get back to a vertical base. But Stratus not giving James the opportunity to mount a modicum of offense. Stratus pulling James And she's going to go for it again. Another slingshot bulldog there. And James face planted completely in the middle of the ring. Will Stratus get her here? 1, 2, and Trish Stratus defeats Mickie James. No matter the obstacle, no matter the distraction from Bliss, Trish Stratus firmly in the number 3 spot to challenge Bayley for the World Women's Championship here in the HWA. Coming up with big sidekicks like that will definitely get her that top spot and that ability to challenge. A nice reversal there into the clothesline by Trish Stratus. Mickie James, a fantastic performance here. The leaping bulldog there. Reversing some of the moves from Trish Stratus was James, and Bliss played her part perfectly, distracting Trish Stratus on several occasions, but it just was not enough to give Mickie James the win here. Trish Stratus planted in that move, but able to come up big in the end, taking the victory away from Mickie James. Congratulations, Trish Stratus. She'll be facing Lita later this week in our HWA house shows. Congratulations to all the participants. Remember, Hobo Nation, if you or someone you know plays WWE 2K18 on Xbox One, have them join the Hobo Wrestling Alliance. HWA House Show Season 1, Episode 16 coming to a close. We'll be back tomorrow with Episode 17. Until then, keep the action moving.